you tap. Okay. Okay, so 14C I didn't record. I only record from now onwards. So 14C, okay? It's not so tough because it's linear inequality. Okay, go on to the next one, 14E. Let's go down, 14E. Okay, 14E says that the equation has two unequal real roots. So copy the equation first. What do I do first? What's the first thing I do? I ask Xiaowei. Open up the brackets, exactly. So usual stuff. So k times x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus x minus 6. Let me bring the x term over, the 4k over, the minus 1 also bring over. Everything pushed to the left hand side. Open up brackets some more. Okay, like that. Then let's tidy up the terms. So kx squared, x squared term is alone, so copy as alone. X term, got one here and one here. So I'm going to take out common factor x and then put the rest in the brackets. Okay? Minus 6k plus 4k, so minus 2k minus 1. Okay. Up to here, Audrey, you alright? Junwei, can you give me the A, the B, the C for this quadratic equation? What's the A? Junwei. Junwei is here, right? Yeah, Junwei is here. What's the A? Okay, okay. What's the B? I thought you were saying okay. B? Minus k minus 1. And what's the C? Minus 2k minus 1. Very good. So the equation is to have two unequal real roots. So Sherry, what does that mean for the discriminant? What does it mean when I say to have two unequal real roots? Don't huh? By now you should know. What does it mean by two unequal real roots? Huh? What's bigger and minus? Yes, to have two unequal real roots. B squared minus 4AC must be bigger than 0. Please remember the three rules. Please remember by heart, okay? So B squared minus 4AC must be bigger than 0. So I put the B in. I put the A. I put the C. Okay, by now you all should be very familiar with how discriminant tells you things, or how things tell you what the discriminant should be. Sherry, okay now? Okay, so open up the brackets. Can I ask Kelly, help me open up the brackets, please? First one becomes, the first bracket becomes k squared plus 2k plus 1. Okay, open up the brackets yourself. I'm not going to show this anymore. Open up the other pair of brackets. Kelly also? Plus 4k times 2k, 8k squared. Then some more plus 4k. Okay? So I open up the brackets. Jade, can you help me to tidy up the terms on the left-hand side? Jade, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, say. You can say out. Type it then. K squared plus 8k squared, what do you get? K squared plus 8k squared, what do you get? Nine k squared. 2k plus 4k, 6k. Plus 1 is just plus 1. Okay? Can? Now only meh? Okay, look at the left hand side. Let's see how we can, okay, look at this entire thing. This entire thing is a quadratic inequality. Quadratic inequality. So we need to do what we did yesterday. We need to use the technique we learned yesterday to solve quadratic inequality. So this one is a little bit complicated. So what's the first step I do? Karina, what's the first step you do to solve a quadratic inequality? What do I do when I want to solve this quadratic inequality, this thing that I'm circling in red? What's the first thing I do from yesterday? What's the first step? Find ABC? No? That's not the steps. Hey, yesterday we did already. You first let 9k squared plus 6k plus 1 equal to 0, right? Solve it as if it's an equation first. Then solve this equation, either using factorization or use formula or whatever. So let's look for the answers of k. So this one, actually I can write it as a perfect square. Solve it first. So k is equal to only one answer, negative 1/3. This is the first step. Solve it as if it is an equation. Then what is the second step? Yeah. Cannot see, is it? Oh, okay. Is that okay? Okay, so I have let 9k squared plus 6k plus 1 equals 0. I solve it as if it is an equation, even though it's not. I got k equals to minus 1/3. What is the next step? Draw the graph. Exactly, draw the graph. So let's draw the graph. This is my axis. There's only one intercept for k. So the k value is, sorry, over here, negative 1/3. Then looking at the inequality I'm solving, this is the inequality I'm interested to solve. Is this a smiling curve or a frowning curve? Based on the inequality. Smiling or frowning? Smiling, because it's 9k squared. So it looks like this. Only touches the x-axis once, and it's, sorry, k-axis. Only touches the k-axis at negative 1/3. Not always have one negative, one positive. Not always. It depends on what you get from when you let it be 0. So far the questions we did yesterday all have two values. That's why it had two intercepts. But here there's only one answer, so only one intercept. Okay? So must be flexible with the way you think. It's not always two intercepts. Okay, so let's see what am I interested to find. I want to find where the curve is bigger than 0, larger than 0, positive, which means I'm interested in here and here, which means basically I'm interested in everything k has to every value of k except k equals to negative 1/3 itself. Why I don't want k equals to negative 1/3? Because I have only bigger than, there's no equality sign. So therefore the answer is any k except k is cannot be negative 1/3. I repeat, okay? Looking at what I need, I want positive parts of the curve. The positive parts of the curve is basically everything. So k can be everything except one value. K cannot be negative 1/3. Why k cannot be negative 1/3? Because when k is negative 1/3, you get 0. But the inequality got no equal 0. It does not include the equal 0. So therefore the answer is like that. Okay? Or if it helps you understand better, k can be less than negative 1/3, or k can be more than negative 1/3. K just cannot be negative 1/3 itself. This one a bit mind-boggling, huh? Can or not? Everybody is silent. Can or not? Should I do 21? Confirm? Okay, if you go back and think about it, you still don't quite get it, next week I can go through again in class. Maybe you see my face, it'll be easier to understand. Diana, that was 14E. But don't worry, Diana, I already videotaped this, I recorded this, so later I'll send you the link. Edison, yes, you can write in both ways. Okay, depending on which way is clearer to you to understand. Can I do 21? Yes, Audrey. Oh, you don't need 21. Okay, fantastic then. Is there anything else you need? Anything else? Jordan, have you tried the tutorial? Yes, Sherry. 24B and C. 24B and C. Ah, okay. Jordan, any question you can't do? Okay, 24. Jinglong? Okay, I know that you all only asked for 24B and C, but for completeness, I'll do the entire question 24, okay? So you have y equals to x minus 5x squared over 24, and this describes the motion of the water path. And the graph is a little bit out. It's supposed to look like this, and then this is 0.9, this is y, this is x. Okay? So part A is pretty simple. They say, when will the water path attain a height of above 0.9 meter above the ground? So y depicts the height of the water. X, in this case, talks about the horizontal distance of the water path. So if the question says you want a height to be above 0.9, means x minus 5x squared over 24 is to be bigger than 0.9. So my aim now is to solve for x here. Up to here, okay? So I'm going to solve this inequality for x. Again, because of my habit when I solve quadratic inequality, I would like to bring all the terms on the left hand side to the right hand side so that the x squared term becomes positive. Okay? The inequality sign does not turn. It remains the way it is. So it becomes like this. Okay, but let me rewrite it so that it appears on the left hand side. So become like this. This is a quadratic inequality again, right? So Karina, I'm going to ask you again. Can you tell me what do I do first when I want to solve quadratic inequality? What do I do first? Whenever I want to solve quadratic inequality, what's the very first step? Correct. Let the equation, let the inequality becomes an equation. Let it be 0. Okay? And then I solve for it as if it is an equation. So this one, I think factorization a bit hard to do. So can you use either use calculator or you use formula? Can someone give me the 2x values? There should be 2. Somebody please? Six over 5 and 18 over 5. Okay. So that means 1.2 and 3.6. Okay? So if I were to indicate on the graph, this must be the 1.2 and this must be the 3.6. Okay? But I'm not interested in the equality. I'm interested in the inequality. So Karina, what's the next step I do? Just now what did I do? After I solve the equation, what did I do? Yep. Draw graph. Okay? So this is the inequality I'm solving for. So 1.2 is the first intercept. 3.6 is the second intercept. I have here a smiling curve because remember I push all the x squared to be positive. I'm interested in less than 0. So I'm interested in here. I want the graph to be negative. So therefore my answer will be between 1.2 and 3.6. Jinglong, how to say please do this step in case the marking scheme requires you to equate to 0. I don't know whether they will allocate specific marks. If you don't do, they may not give you the mark. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, Jinglong, yes, actually can. Good question. Jinglong asked whether can just use this blue color graph and get the answer. Also can. So basically it's still the same. X is between 1.2 and 3.6. But because of my habit, I always make the x squared positive. So I always end up drawing a smiling curve. You know how we teach maths is also how we learn maths. So this is how I do it when I was in school. But you can deduce the same answer from the blue graph. Yes, you can. Shift what 24 over? As in you times 24 Is that what you're saying? Your answer will be the same. Your answer will be exactly the same. 0 times 24 is still equals 0. 0 times 24 is equals what? Go and press calculator. Yeah. So in this case, you want to times 24 throughout also can, but it doesn't help you. You still won't get a nice whole number factor. So might as well just straight away solve it using formula or using calculator without multiplying 24 throughout. Not like times all. I don't understand, Xing. Like you shift the 24 over, so 0.9 times 24. Everything must times 24. The x also must times 24. The 0.9 also must times 24. The 0 also must times 24. If you choose to times 24, everything must. But you don't have to times 24. That's what I'm saying. Can the answer for A be 1.2 to 3.6 meters away from the origin? As in, when you present the final answer, is it? When you write down a statement, yes, you can. So let's say you write this. In fact, it'll be perfect if you can interpret the answer from mathematical, interpret in words. So if you want to say like what Jit says, it's even better. How to say for between the distance of 1.2 meter and 3.6 meter from origin, the water path is above 0.9 meter. That's what you mean, right, Jit? To write it in words, right? Yeah, even better. That shows that you understand what you're calculating. Okay? Can I continue to 24b? So 24b, okay, 24b is the slightly tricky one. Why is the bottom part of the graph? Why is it the bottom part of the graph? Oh, okay. Audrey, always go back to what you're solving. I'm solving this. Look at what I just boxed up. I'm solving this. And when I'm solving this, I want it to be less than 0. So I'm looking for here. But that's only because I rearranged the term so that the x squared is the positive coefficient. If you did not do that, and you just use the original blue graph, then you'll be looking at the positive part. But never mind, don't confuse you. Just stick to the way I do. Make the x squared always positive. I find that like that you won't make mistake. Because some students will forget to draw it as a frowning curve otherwise. Okay? You always draw the graph and you take the shaded area based on what inequality you're solving. Always go back to the inequality you're solving. Okay, I go 24b. Miss Lee can scroll up for a while. Like that? Like that? Where? Can be just try to find the vertex. Can be just try find the vertex. Oh, what talking you, Jade? No, it's nothing to do with vertex. This question is nothing to do with vertex. The vertex is the highest point. A bit more. Like that. You mean scroll down or scroll up? Down means you want to see here, huh? Okay. Got it? Okay? I go down, 24b, okay? 24b says if the height of the water trajectory is always below h, what will be the smallest integer value of h? So you are looking for h, and you want the water height, which is x minus 5x squared over 24. This is the height, right? You want the height to be always below h. It's all okay? You understand how I got to this? You want the water height to be always below h, so always less than a particular value of h. Okay, h is a number, just that you don't know what is h, but h is a number, it's a constant. So we do as before. Remember, I always like to keep my x squared positive, so I'm going to shift everything to the left hand side. No, h is not the maximum point. H actually is the lowest point, because you want the water level to be always below, sorry, H is the highest point, sorry. You want the water level to be always below H, that's right. But H can be higher than the highest point. Can be higher than the maximum point. Okay, basically if I draw a graph, this is the water trajectory. They are asking you, H can be here, H can be here, H can be here. As long as the water level is always below H, they want that to happen. So you're right, actually you're looking in a way for the integral value of the highest point. Okay, I bring the x squared over, I bring the x over like this. I shift the terms a little bit. I didn't do anything, I just move left to right, right to left, just to make it look presentable like this. Up to here, okay? Okay? Okay, this part you must pay a bit of attention, this part. What I have here is a quadratic function. I want the quadratic function to be always bigger than 0. I say again, the left hand side is in the quadratic form. I want the quadratic form to be always bigger than 0. Now remember last week when we learned position of a graph. How do you ensure a quadratic smiling curve? How do you ensure this is always bigger than 0? How do you make sure that happens? A graph that is always hanging up there, smiling curve and hanging above the x-axis, that will always be positive, right? And by that notion, Kelly is right, by that notion, the discriminant must be less than 0. This part is a little bit difficult to understand. I repeat. Here I have on the left hand side a smiling curve graph. How do I ensure the smiling curve graph is always positive? For the smiling curve graph to be always positive, it must be always hanging above the x-axis, which means there must be no real roots, which means the discriminant must be less than 0. Why, Sherry? Look at what we are looking for, okay? Look here, I want the smiling curve, this is smiling curve, right? To be always bigger than or equal to 0. Isn't that saying I want the smiling curve to be always positive? And the only way for a smiling curve to be always positive is something like this, which means no real roots, which means discriminant is less than 0. Okay? Anybody don't understand? I explain again. Okay, I say again. Audrey, you understand up to here? You understand how I get this, then how I get bigger 0 here? Karina? The book got answer meh? This tutorial question Oh, Karina, are you referring to the diagram in the book for question 24? Okay, remember, because of my habit of solving quadratic equation inequality, I have moved all the x squared term to the other side to make it positive. So instead of the frowning curve, I've ended up with a smiling curve. Because I moved the thing over. So you end up with this inequality now. Yes, I shifted the x squared term to the right side together with the x term, all shift to right side to make the x squared positive. So my inequality is now like this. So you can pretty much ignore the graph in the question on the book, because my graph is now turned upside down. Okay? So Audrey, because of the inequality that I have here in this red box, I'm interested to know how to make the quadratic, this smiling curve part, the 5x squared over 24 minus x plus h. This is the smiling curve, right? If I were to draw it, it would be a smiling curve. I want the smiling curve to be bigger than 0 because of the inequality. And the only way for a smiling curve to be always bigger than 0 is like this. And the only way for a smiling curve to be like this is when it has no real roots. Hence, the discriminant must be less than 0. Okay? Okay, I put in the B, the A, the C. The B is -1. The A is 5 over 24. The C is H. Open up brackets. But positive is bigger than 0. Yes, Xingyi, go back, go back. I want the quadratic, I want the smiling curve, look at here, the left hand side. I want the smiling curve, the left hand side, to be always positive. Xingyi, do you agree with me? For this to happen, the smiling curve must look like this. And for the smiling curve to look like this, does it have any real roots? Any real roots? No real roots. What do you know about no real roots? You know the discriminant must be less than 0. Okay? So it's like one thing leads to another, leads to another. Okay? So I bring the 5 over 6h over, keep the 1 on the left, then divide 6 over 5 over. So become like that. H must be bigger than 6 over 5. But that's not the end, right? They say, what is the smallest integer value of h? If h must be bigger than 1.2, then the closest integer of h must be 2. Yep. Audrey, what is it? What do you mean I swap the 6 over 5? Because I divide by 5 over... It's like solving equation. It's like solving equation, except it is an inequality. It's like solving normal equation. I do again, 5 over 6h, then the alligator jaw is facing it, 1. Okay, I just swap the place, I just swap the position, I never do anything. I don't want the 5 over 6, correct? What do? I divide the 5 over 6 over. When you divide it over, it will turn upside down, won't it? So h must be bigger than 1.2. And the closest integer value to 1.2 is 2 meter. Just 2. Okay? So h can be 2, h can be 4, h can be 10, h can be 100. Actually, you can take any value as long as it's above 1.2. But because the question asks for the smallest integer value, so you go 2. Okay? Is it okay? This question 24b. 24c is actually, I also don't know what the question is asking me for. So I went to ask the module coordinator. Her answer is just say that part A's inequality is in terms of x. Part B's inequality is in terms of h. Just like that. That was the answer given to me. Actually, I also don't know what's the point of asking that question. Okay, if you look at part A, our inequality was in terms of x. Okay, I scroll up. My inequality was in terms of x. See? Part B, our inequality was now in terms of h. Just like that. Oops. Sorry, I think just now the connection went down. That is 24. Any others? Did y'all try the HBL worksheet? Not yet? Others? Same, huh? Okay. Natasha, yes? Okay. Tell you what, those who have not tried the HBL worksheet, can y'all take the next 30 minutes to try a few questions? Try now. Those who have tried it and you have question, I'll answer your question now. So those who are going to try now, you can ignore us for a while. 2:30 we start again. Those who have tried it and have questions, please ask me so I can answer them. Any question, Natasha? You say you tried already. C1. Okay, I have to open C1. I don't know how it looks like. Give me a sec, okay? PFP, HBL, C1. Find the values for which is the tangent, okay? Any more? Kelly? Question 4. Review problems 3. You mean the one that I took in the picture, is it, Kelly? Okay. That one, I settle later, okay? I do the HBL worksheet first. because that one is extra. Any more? Okay, C1 first, y equals to x plus k, y equals to x plus k, 2x squared plus xy equals minus 3. 2x squared plus xy equals minus 3. Tangent to each other. Okay, so Natasha, what do you know about a straight line being a tangent to a curve? Yep, when you combine the two equations together, your resulting quadratic must have a discriminant that is equal to 0. That's correct. So let's combine the two equations first. Equation 1, equation 2. So I sub equation 1 into equation 2. So 2x squared plus x times x plus k equal minus 3. So I change the y into x plus k. Open up brackets. Bring the minus 3 over. Tidy things up. This is my quadratic equation. So since you say b squared minus 4ac equals 0, what thing? Sherry, what thing? Then put in the b, put in the a, put in the c. So k squared equals to 24, so k must be plus minus square root 24. I don't know what's the value. No answer, I think. Don't have answer key, right? The answer key is with me, as in I'll do it. Okay? So not so tough lah. Give you the answers. I have to work it out first. I don't have it readily. Later I do and I send you, okay? Maybe you'll compare answers with each other. How about this one thing? Can you post the answers that you have? Then the rest see whether concur or not. Can you put the answer for A first? A1, A, B, C, D. Can you post here? One thing, give the question A answers. Kelly, you wait a while, okay? I'm looking at the review question that I sent to you. Everybody agrees with one thing answer? For A1, A? Question 4. Kelly, the question you want, question 4, is it from Review Problems 3? Thank you, Alicia and Natasha. Okay. I will write the solutions on the board here and then I send a pic to you, okay? You wait a while. One thing is that the next answer, minus 2 over 5, x, then 1. One thing, you number the answers, can? You put the answer minus 2 over 5. Label the answers, okay? Are you drinking beer? One thing. How about C? Wait, my k square minus 433 is wrong. Not equals to 24. Which one? One thing, which one? Oh, wait. 4AC. 9 times 4 is 36. Thank you so much. I know what you're talking about. Thanks, one thing. So k is 6 or negative 6, right? Thank you. Any more for the HBL worksheet? One thing, continue posting the answers. A1B HBL worksheet, A1B. Question B2. Wait, A1B and B2. A1B. Okay, I see what's the question. A1B. 2 plus 3x bigger than 5x squared. 2 plus 3x bigger than 5x squared. This one, is it, Natasha? Okay. Bring everything to the right hand side so that my x squared continues to be positive coefficient. Like that, okay? So, but by habit, let's push things to the left. Like that. Okay? So, quadratic inequality. So, let 5x squared minus 3x minus 2 equals to 0. What are the two values for x? Can solve for me? Like that. Okay, then sketch the curve. Sketch the curve based on your inequality. Always go back to your inequality. Smiling curve. These are the two intercepts. Why must sketch? Because if you don't sketch, you don't know which part of the curve you want. You don't know whether you want the negative part or the positive part. It is important to sketch. Otherwise, you cannot figure this out. How you get the less than 0? Otherwise, the curve got so many parts. Got the positive up there part and the bottom down there part. Yes, it's simply because it's quadratic inequality. Yesterday we were talking about it, right? So, because the inequality wants less than 0, Natasha, which part of the curve am I interested in? We're interested in the sides, meh? We want less than 0 leh. Natasha, we're interested in the curve being negative. So we're interested in the bottom part here, negative part of the curve. Hence, x values I will take between negative 0.4 all the way to 1. And do I need equality sign? I don't need equality sign. Why? Because there's no equality sign in the inequality here. So this is my answer. I think I know why, Natasha, your signs are wrong. When you use the calculator give you what values? Do you use the calculator properly when you solve the quadratic? Or do you factorize wrongly? Continued question B2. No need already? Yes, Sherry. Real and different roots means the discriminant is bigger than. Don't have equality, just bigger than. Thank you, Natasha. Sherry, bigger than means real and different. Equal to means real but equal, only one. If it is always positive means bigger than. Jordan, what do you mean by that? Then what is unequal roots? Okay. Let me draw a table. Shall I? Okay, let's summarize this, okay? Otherwise it gets more and more confusing. How to insert table? Okay, I draw a table. Okay, so first column we have the my handwriting is terrible. Discriminant. Discriminant is the b squared minus 4ac. Okay. Discriminant got 3 types. Can be equal 0, can be bigger 0, can be less than 0. Okay? Nature, discriminant tells you a lot of things. It tells you firstly the nature of roots. If the discriminant is equal to 0, we have real and equal roots. Okay? Real and equal roots also means just one intercept. Just means cut the x-axis once. So it will look like this, or it will look like this. Cut the x-axis once. Okay? If the discriminant is bigger than 0, we have what we call real and distinct roots. Sometimes they say real and different roots. Sometimes they even say real and unequal roots. It just means cuts the x-axis 2 times. If the discriminant is less than 0, we have no real roots. It just means don't cut at all. Just like that. So far so good? Okay. Sometimes the question just say real roots. Don't say real and equal or real and distinct. Then we are talking about can be real and equal or can be real and distinct. Hence, when they just say real roots without saying equal or unequal, you say b squared minus 4ac can be bigger than, can be equal to 0. Okay? So far so good. Now this is talking about nature of roots. Jordan, answer your question about positive, negative. I suspect you're talking about the output being positive or the output being negative. So we're talking about position of graph. Is this what you're talking about just now? If I just need the answer for B2. Okay, if a graph is always positive or an output is always negative, then it looks like this, and we know that the discriminant must be less than 0. Because you realize these two graphs do not cut the x-axis at all. So this is what I mean by the graph being always positive or the graph being always negative. Can anyone give the answer for B2? Carissa, I haven't heard from Carissa. Carissa, you got the answer for B2? She got? Jordan, I'm looking at the question. The question says, find the range of values of Q for which 2x squared plus qx plus q is always positive. So this question is talking about the graph, this smiling curve graph, always being positive. So we are talking about this kind of situation. The graph is always positive. If the graph is always positive, then the discriminant is less than 0. This is a tricky part. The graph is positive, but the discriminant must be negative. It's a different concept altogether. It's a different thing altogether. Thank you, Carissa. Jordan, you got the answer? Junwei, are you there? Are you doing the tutorial? Are you trying? Very good. Any question? Diana, are you back? Okay. Any question from the HBL worksheet that you need help with? Sherry, you understand the real roots, real and unequal, real and equal already? What's the relationship? Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Just ask. Okay, every time they say real roots, so my b squared minus 4ac is more than or equal to, yes, that's correct. When they say real roots, they don't say real and different, real and equal, they never describe more. Then b squared minus 4ac is bigger than and equal to 0. You're right. Yeah, Audrey. Positive, is it bigger or less than? Positive means bigger than 0. For example, I say 3 is positive, right? That's because 3 is bigger than 0. Wait. Are you looking at question B2? Okay, B2 okay, B2 B2 is, it's how to say, okay. B2, the question is, let's see the question first. Wait, 2x squared plus qx plus q. Okay. Where am I? Shucks. Okay, B2. Question B2, they say 2x squared plus qx plus, oh no, I forgot the question. Qx plus q. Qx plus q is always positive. They say 2x squared plus qx plus q is always positive. That means this graph, which is a quadratic curve and it is smiling curve, I want it to be always positive. That means the graph must look something like this. Correct? And if you look at this graph that I just sketched, it shows that it has no real roots, correct? And if it has no real roots, we know that the discriminant must be less than 0. So it's a bit confusing because this question is asking for always positive, and yet we have a less than 0. That's because here we are talking about the discriminant. Can Audrey? B3. Okay, wait. Where's B3? Below the x-axis. Okay. Samantha, when they say a graph is always below the x-axis, how will you sketch that graph? Firstly, does it look like the equation? Does it sound like a smiling or frowning? Frowning, right? And it's always below x-axis. So where should I draw this curve? Is it up above the x-axis or down below the x-axis? Down below, and so it must look like this, right? And if it must always look like this, does it have real roots? So the b squared minus 4ac must be less than 0, exactly. Because no real roots. Brian, you okay? You got a question? Edison? Brian? No question. Excellent. Edison? Charlene? Nothing. Just checking whether you have any questions. Okay, can I task someone to write down all the answers? For those who have finished the HBL worksheet, can you write down all the just the answer only, and then send a picture of the answers without the solution? Send it to the WhatsApp chat group for those for the others to check the answer. Can I task One thing to do that. B3, huh? Okay, wait, Jordan, wait. One thing, can you help me? One thing, wait, I write down. Can you please copy down all your answers? Wait, Samantha, for HBL worksheet. And send a pic to the WhatsApp chat group. Just answers, okay? Then, the rest of you, after you finish trying, you check the answer. Anything that you don't know, I think tomorrow, I will set it as an optional session. It won't be compulsory, everybody must come. So tomorrow session, okay, let me see what time. I don't think you're gonna wake up at 8 o'clock, right? Are you? Okay. Okay, let me check my schedule. Tomorrow I have another one with my other class, so let me see what time I can meet you. Do you have any Skype session tomorrow with the other modules? Don't have? Okay, wait, let me check. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay. We meet online at say 10 a.m. I can't do any later because I have another one after that. So it's optional. Only those who need attend. Those who are okay, you don't have to come. Okay? So one thing later, I wait for your answers, okay? Okay, so just now somebody wants B3, is it? Okay. B3 again, let me check the question. Y equals to minus 4 square. Is px over 2 minus 3. Okay, so B3, this is your equation. They want it to be entirely below the x-axis, so we agree it must look like this, and hence discriminant must be less than 0. So Jordan, tell me what is your B, your A, your C. Get me the B first. What's B? Minus P. So minus P square, minus 4. What's your A? Minus 4, very nice. And your C? P over 2 minus 3, exactly. And this whole thing must be less than 0. Okay, then let's expand. So I have P square plus 8P minus 20. 16 times 3 is what? 48. You get something like that? Samantha, do you get that? What? Don't know. Okay. Minus 4 times minus 4 is 16. 16 times P over 2, isn't that 8P? This is 16. Sorry. My lunch was horrible. I'm still very hungry. I didn't eat anything much. Okay? Okay. I know, right? Almost two-dimensional. So you get this? Haha. So you have quadratic inequality. And then you solve your normal way of doing things. The usual. Okay? Any others? Okay, let me see who I haven't talked to today. Nicole! Nicole, are you here? Hi, Nicole. Nicole, you got any question? Okay, excellent. No question is good. Those who just tried the HBL worksheet, any question that you look at and don't know how to do, you ask me now, I'll give you a hint, then you go and try on your own. I think you are getting the hang of it. Just once in a while when the question is phrased a little bit different, maybe then you get a bit confused. Junwei, you can do? Okay, nice. So, tomorrow's session is optional. It will start at 10 a.m. Those who are okay don't have to come. Those who have problems, then you come on board online. Then when I see you next week, you are supposed to do a quiz. You all know that, right? There's a quiz next week on this topic. Yes, can ask tomorrow, Junwei. Can. So from now till tomorrow, please try the HBL worksheet. Please finish up tutorial 5. And then tomorrow I'll answer questions for those who want to come online. Next week when I see you on Monday, there will be a quiz administered that is counted towards the module grade. And next Wednesday, I would like to have your report for the water bottle activity. Remember? Next Wednesday, 19th July. 1 report per group. Other than that, I have nothing else for y'all already. If no issue, y'all can log out. I'll still be hanging around until 3 p.m. Bye-bye. Oh, Sherry, yes. For C3, is it bigger or bigger and equal? Oh, okay, sorry, I was C3.
Bye, Miss Lee.
Bye bye. Sherry,
Bye. Bye, Miss Lee. I love you.
who are you?
Bye, Miss Lee.
Bye, Miss Lee. Bye, Miss Lee.
Bye,
Bye
Miss
bye.
Lee.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Shut up, lah.
Shut up, Hassie Long.
Bye bye.
I love you. I love you. Bye.
Hi, Xing Yi.
Hi, Jingy.
Hi, Singy. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Edison. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Jordan. Hi,
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, hi,
Jingy, why you
Charlene.
never say hi to me?
Hi, wait, I'm looking. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
How come you all sound like
Edison.
you're in the same place?
Hi.
We are in the same place.
We are all in the same place.
We all in
Me and
SP.
Audrey-
Where are you all?
Audrey-
We are
I'm
the
at
lecture
SC.
for
Me and Audrey at SC by.
Oh, okay.
You're in library. Jordan, you get out, not me.
Yes, Alicia.
Papa cook for me. Thank you, Miss Lee. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Miss
Bye,
Lee,
Miss
Charlene
Lee.
say she want give you lecture.
I never.
Give me what?
Just
Chocolate?
talk like this one.
Did she say chocolate? Sherry, Sherry,
Sherry.
has your question been answered?
Sherry, baby.
Sherry, go and die.
Sherry, why you outside the window?
Sherry, why you on the floor?
Why you eating people chicken rice?
Sherry, I thought you said you don't dare to fly.
She said I'm flying.
She say she don't dare to fly because she's scared SPCA catch her. Like legit, that's what she told me.
Oh, cringy.
Shut up, AES dancer.
What's cringy sense? What are you trying to do, Sila?
On the video.
Okay, I off. You're dancing pizza, I off. Okay, I press many times, okay, done. Is it never off? I tell you, then I off. Is it Poki? Am I off? Okay, then I never off. So it's big and is it, can you see or not?
Why are you at FC5? Jingy. Jingy, why are you at FC5?
We at the library.
You, she asking Jingy like you stupid.
Sherry, my two students nice or not?
What Sherry say? Wait.
You're damn fussy. What do you mean personalities? Basket, what are you trying to say?
Oi. Oi. Dude, they cannot see. You need to stop my video. Huh?
Hey, personality counts more than face, okay? Sherry.
You know what Sherry say?
What?
Ay, you are Sherry. It's important.
John, why you
It's
so
not that
good intro her your
important.
student? Why you never intro me?
Sorry, Charlene?
Why you intro Sherry your student? Why you
Wait,
never
wait,
intro
let me end this recording first.